I went on good old Google and I Googled therapists in my area, and I got a list. There's a list of registered therapists come up, and there's hundreds of them. And there was a website, I can't remember what website I went onto, but there was a website that had pictures of therapists and then all their qualifications. I literally went through the pictures. I was very sort of blunt about it. No, you don't look so good. Yes, you look quite good. Actually, I quite like you. And I found this lady near me and just emailed her and said, I think I need to speak to somebody. So we went along, and I think I saw her for probably about 5 months in total, every week for 5 months. So it's quite an expensive outlay, but it really helped me. I think it just helped me just talk to somebody who could put some clarity to it and say, it's not your fault this has happened. Things happen, and perhaps this is the reason why, and it really did help, really did. With my father, I phoned him up that day. I'd been snowboarding for the week, and with the university, and I'd come back, and typical student, phoned my dad up, said, can you come pick me up? I've got my snowboard, I've got all my kit, I don't want to leave it here, I live in Fallowfield, you never know what might happen to it. And he was like, oh, can you get the train? And I said, oh, come on, I can't bear the train, can you help me? I've got all my kit. So he did. And then, that's what happened. And I blamed myself for a long time. And I think I blamed myself because when I got back, my mum couldn't talk to me. She didn't talk to me on the phone when it had happened. My uncle phoned up and said, your mum can't come to the phone at the moment, and I was angry about that, and I felt it's because of what I've done. It's my fault that this has happened, and for years I spent that whole time thinking it's my fault that my children don't have a grandfather. It's my fault that my nieces and nephews don't have a grandfather, that my brothers don't have a father anymore. I spent years agonising over it, and it doesn't matter how many people say to you, friends, husband, it's not your fault. When you haven't heard that from your mother and your brothers, it was difficult. But then I hadn't said to them, this is how I'm feeling, because it wasn't really, we just didn't talk about it. So talking to somebody neutral, and for her to put into perspective. And it was really interesting, the things she said. Things like 100%, your mother 100% won't have gone, it's absolutely, won't have blamed you. She said there will be a smidgen of amount that probably would have gone, oh, if it wasn't for you. And that's human nature, that's a human, feeling. But she said, the fact is that she will have thought that, but she won't have blamed you at the end of the day. And we went right back. We didn't just go through my father. From the start, when my father died, we went right back to, the first time I experienced something difficult in my life. And that was another bereavement. It was a school friend of mine at the time when I was 14, and she died. She was knocked off a bike. So I'd had sort of trauma through my life that I hadn't dealt with. So going to see her, I think I just needed to, really offload. Well, two of my very good friends have lost their fathers, and I think you talk to your friends all the time about it, but I don't think for me personally that I talk to them anyway, they're friends, but I think I needed to get to the underlying issue, and that was I needed somebody with experience and that sort of the qualification to be able to dig that out of me. Because I don't think that's the sort of thing friends can do. Yeah, I still have some weird little things that I carry. So I have a weird phone phobia where I find it very, very difficult to phone people that I know, not people that I don't know. I can phone them any day of the week, but people that I do know who I haven't spoken to for a while. And speaking to my therapist about it, she thinks it's because, and I already sort of made the conclusion myself as well, was that connected to my dad dying is that phone call that I made and then the next time I hear that he's, you know, had an accident and he's died. And so I think that I have that phobia is that thought of phoning somebody and getting some terrible news. And I've got to work on that. That's something I've got to do. And I couldn't that couldn't be dealt with in therapy. I tried, but actually I think it's deeper. I think it, you know, I've got to work on it. But texting and messaging doesn't help me. But so I do tend to text somebody before I phone them, so that they know I'm expecting a call. So yeah.